Hey guys, it's it's like 6 a.m. I've been playing Fire Emblem all fucking night, and I'm tired. So let's get this video out of the way. Um, Fire Emblem Radiant Dawn is a Wii game. It came out in '07, I believe, and it took me, let me check. It took me 36 hours and 58 minutes to complete. It's a fairly long game. I played on easy mode, but that's for a good reason too. You have easy and normal, right? Now, I start off on normal since I'm a veteran of the series, and I figure I'd handle it, right? And so I get to like level 7, and I realize like it's not even worth my time dying and trying and perfecting the maps. So I go back over to easy mode, and I blow through all those levels I was having troubles with and stuff. So I think easy mode's definitely the way to go unless you're like really hardcore completionist where you have to get it done and out of the way on the hardest difficulty. So yeah, the game is set up so there's 4 parts. Okay, part 1 has like 11 levels, I believe, and the way it works is you have a prologue, which is just like introducing the characters you're playing as and stuff like that. And then you have like 9 more levels. Then you have the end game, which is like the final chapter for that part. So part 1 is pretty decent size, I guess. That covers basically the Dawn Brigade. Pretty much in the first game, you are fighting to destroy this nation who is corrupt, and you did so. And basically, the only corrupt thing about that nation was the leader, the king. So pretty much the Dawn Brigade is just trying to get uh, the king's son, the prince, back into the king's chair because he's like kind-hearted and stuff. So that ends when you get him back in the chair. Part 2 is about basically the country that the main character from the last game was from, Crimea, I believe it was called. Basically, what happens is the queen that you got put into the throne at the end of the first game. Basically, she has to deal with like a civil war brewing up in her country. So that was a pretty short one. It was like 5 levels, I think. Then, holy shit, you get to part 3, and it was like 15, 16 levels long. That centers around pretty much Ike from the first game, the main character, and his group of mercenaries. Basically, Ike's a good friend with the what are they called? The Lagas or whatever you call them. Basically, they're like they're like animal people pretty much. So pretty much what happens is they want to find out what's going on with the war and all this stuff with the big powerful nation, and they send like messengers over there and they get murdered, and pretty much they want to find out what's going on over there, and they find out that one of the Laguz races, the reason they got exterminated was because of like these guys hiding in their like government and stuff. And basically you're starting a war with the most powerful nation, and it's cool in part 3 because you get to run into the Dawn Brigade, the group you played as in part 1. So yeah, you get to like fight them, and it ends with basically a god being like brought back to like life, and basically you got to find out why they're there, and like this. There's chaos, and then there's like what is it called? Chaos and order. Pretty much, order's trying to wipe out all of humanity to like make sure it's perfect again, like by rebuilding the human population and the Lagoo's population and all that. So basically, because they're always at war, the goddess got mad and all this stuff. Then you have the other side, Chaos, which is actually the good sister, or good god, or whatever you want to call it. Basically, she wants to help humans because she knows how humans and the Goos are good people, and they shouldn't have to be like fighting against a god like that. So basically, part 4 is every single like military soldier or whatever who didn't get frozen by the bad goddess at the end of part 3. Basically, you have like an army of 50 people now because they all join up, and really you form 3 armies, and pretty much you got to get to this tower where the goddess is at. And the way it works is like one chapter you'll be the Dawn Brigade leader, next one you'll be Ike, next you'll be the what is he, the Falcon, not the Falcon, the Hawk King. And it basically tracks your journey over to the tower, and once you get to the tower, holy shit, you have basically 5 floors of bosses and stuff. Oh, and you can't like check your inventory and change it, and basically you can't restock, so you gotta go in there prepared. It's cool though, you gotta pick like 17 of your best units to go in there with you. And I'm not gonna lie, that part of the game was actually kinda easy. Like, you know, like the first part in the tower was kinda hard. Second got easier. It just kept getting easier and easier. The boss was not hard at all. I think I only had 1 person die throughout the whole game. 1 or 2 people. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Then you have the epilogue, which is, oh my god, it's like an hour of talking, and this guy became a farmer because there was no more war. Basically stuff like that. And really, I don't really hate anything about this game at all. Like, I don't like music in it because it's plain and stale. It's Fire Emblem music. Like, they never do anything new with their music. Sometimes when you're navigating your menus, like when you have like over 30 people in your army, there's like slowdown or something. Like, I'll be going down the list and it'll be like frame lag will kick in, and it shouldn't do that. I mean, I'm just scrolling down a list of people's names. Like, how hard is that? So yeah, we'll start frame lagging up, and then you get like delayed button pushing, and it's pretty stupid stuff. But that's only when you're at the base. Oh, in the last few games, you know, you've had character socialization or whatever. Basically, your character and another character will talk to each other. Then you'll form a bond, and you'll have C, B, A rank, and you'll get stats from that. Like, let's say you're next to that person you form a bond with. Like, you could get like 1 attack point, like 15 evade points, and like, I don't know, 10 critical. Basically, it just adds on to that. But in the last game for GameCube, you could actually like have original conversations, and this one you don't have it's like predetermined conversation and stuff. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like, let's say you're playing as Ike, okay, and like you go over to talk to this girl, you'll like actually talk to her like you would normally, like, hey girl, what up, you doing good? And then the girl will do a generic response for either, like, let's say you have a C rank with her, okay, she'll say, how are you, let's fight good out there. Like, it's just like a generic response. It's not even targeted towards that person, and they'll have that response for whoever you're linked with that person. So even if you weren't Ike, you could still talk to that person, have the same response every time. And then like B rank has a different response, and A rank has a different response. It's probably like, I don't know, it doesn't really add to the game like the last one. You had like crazy conversations with people. It was awesome. So yeah, it's a pretty good game if you're a Fire Emblem fan. I'd say run it.